Have you ever had a friend that gave you a game recommendation? You know, just something that they find fun and they wanted to share the experience with you? Oh, you don't have friends. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, damn, let's kind of make this awkward then. I mean, for real, not one of them? That's kind of Cuphead. Love it or hate it, we all know it's a difficult game. And it actually just dropped some new DLC recently, and I wanted to play it. But I'd never played the base game. And in light of that, I decided to give it a stab. And you know, misery loves company, so I had to bring in KaijuKelly. And so, bam! We're fresh out the gate, but we already beat one of the running guns, and two of the bosses are already on the island. Off to a great start.
You're crazy!
The father-son command!
Let's go!
Oh my god, that's that shit that Gohan used to kill Cell.
Afterwards, we slowly mark off the rest of the bosses on the first island. We only have some minor problems with Cagny Carnation, the last roadblock on the island. He's a tough beginner boss, but we end up beating him in about 15 tries and moving on to the second island. As we set foot on the second island, we dip our toes in all the little ponds, squeezing out whatever victories we can against Baron Von Bonbon and a running gun just to boost our morale. Just got my booty all up in my camera right now too. Like I'm about to throw some cheeks.
You ain't gonna put that in the video, but yeah, you'll put fucking that'll make you pussy throb in the video, and that's disrespectful.
So do you want me to throw some ass then?
I think I'm chilling, honestly.
But as we're kicking names and taking ass, this is where our grind begins and our team chemistry ends. After being on the island for more than 2 hours at this point and not having a single win under a belt, that's when we face Beppy the Clown, aka Bozo the Clown. For a circus clown, he really knew how to put on a show. I gotta give him his props. For some reason, just his skills just had my undivided attention. He put on a show, but I was the closing act, and so I ended up beating him by the skin of my teeth and sent him on his way home.
His name's Beppy, by the way.
Oh, Bozo, I don't care, I'm the John Wick of gaming! And with that, victory was secured, but it was a very short-lived victory. At this point, a new boss had appeared that I could never prepare for. Spectrum Internet. Like, what's the deal? Come on. You're lagging us out now?
Know your fucking place, trash.
But even with that stroke of bad luck, I knew the game plan hadn't changed. I knew in my heart and in my soul, KaijuKelly wanted to go on, so he traveled with us in spirit. And in an hour and a half, I beat every single boss on that island. With just my game face and 3 hearts, they stood no chance. Even the green dragon. He was by far the hardest boss on the island. It took me 37 tries just to finally beat him. But as I step over his corpse, we head on to the third and final island. We reach the third and final island, and off rip, we blast through 3 bosses and a running gun like they're a wall, and I'm the Kool-Aid man that's just trying to promote.
Oh yeah!
We hit a few hiccups fighting with Sally's stage play, and also Rumor Honeybottoms. And yeah, those are their real names, but we ain't gonna talk about them. Other than those 2 bosses, there wasn't really a problem until we got to these last few stages. Starting off, the last and final running gun. It probably shouldn't have been this hard, but leave it to me to mess it up. This level tests everything. Your ability to adapt, your ability to gun on the move, and your ability to just dodge in a timely manner. It is ridiculous. Why didn't you jump? But after an hour of endlessly trying this again and again, I finally pull ahead and we beat the level, now leaving only 2 bosses left on this island. First up, we have the Ghost Train or the Phantom Express. The problem with this boss is it's basically 4 bosses in one. You each have a new phase, and they are completely different from the last. But you're talking to a master here, so I beat it in about 10 tries, you know, no big deal. And then we move on to, me personally, the hardest boss in the game, Dr. Kahl's robot. This level is basically Galactica on crack, okay? It is projectiles everywhere. If you blink, you lose. If you breathe, you lose. If you got stick drift, you lose, okay? Come on! You just had to go up. That's all you had to do was go up. Hit the thing. What? No! I hit it. I hit it. It is so much. It is an overload to the brain. I finally beat Dr. Kahl's robot, and we move on to hell, literally and figuratively. Here, the next boss you face is King Dice. King Dice's level is made up of essentially a boss gauntlet. All the bosses in his gauntlet are pretty easy. You roll a dice, you move a couple of spaces, you fight a boss. If you're lucky, you might only fight 3 bosses. If not, at your worst, you're fighting 9 different bosses. It's crazy. If you're lucky enough, you can land on a space that gives you a heart of health so you can take an extra hit of damage. Me personally, it only took me 3 tries to take him down. Let's go! I even got a perfect day on it, you know, that's just me though. That's just me. But once you defeat King Dice, this is where all hell breaks loose, because everything you imagine what the devil is, it's correct, and it's in this level, okay? There's no holds bar on this boss fight. It is multiple full screen attacks while dodging other enemies coming from off screen, and that's just his first phase. Ironically, his longest phase. If you can beat that torture of a first phase, you move on to the second phase where it completely switches up the gameplay. Now you don't have attacks directed at you, they're directed around you. So you have to be mindful of your surroundings at every given second or it's over for you. Then you have his final phase, which is arguably the easiest, but also the most nerve-wracking one. You have to make sure to time your jumps and also not to fall off the platform. If you can successfully complete that, you win. If not, back to the beginning. I'm telling you, this was the hardest boss fight for me. It took me 3 hours, double the time of my longest against Dr. Kahl's robot of an hour and a half. It is insane the amount of focus and tenacity you have to have on this boss fight. Not only did I rage, I went through the whole spectrum of emotions. But if this whole game was the main course, beating him was definitely the last course. Wait, that was the DLC's name? Man, I guess I'll see you in the next video.